Hello folks, and welcome back to Skald against the Black Priory. Where last time we went into the depths of Black Priory, went all the way down, past the fake golden tomb, down into some place where we found a weird construction that was not made by human hands, it was being excavated, and fought against a ginormous horror worm that had absorbed several people before it and was one hell of a boss fight. That was bugged, or at least mistranslated or something, because there was resistances applied that didn't need to be applied. It wasn't game-breakingly hard. We kicked its ass, but damage was taken. And in the aftermath, as we sat down after the fight, the worm began to reknit itself, and Roland was badly wounded, even though Roland took no attacks during the fight. Roland was, plot-wise, badly wounded, with a lethal wound that was already infected and sprouting tentacles. And so Roland sacrificed himself to buy us the seconds we needed to open the door to whatever this place was and get inside. And it flashed white, it flashed dark. We woke up alone and naked. We have no gear at all. We've got nothing. Alone. And as we explored this alien construction, clearly not made by any man, we found a membranous thing that looks like it might be a door, but we can't find a way to open it. And we came up here, we found a body lying down on a table that was clearly dissected. And we figured out the body was actually Iban's body. Our friend Iban, our archer, our ranger friend, had been dissected to bits. And as we stay there looking, Iban woke up, because whoever dissected Iban took the greatest care to, even though the body parts are separated, they're still connected by blood vessels and nerves. So Iban, even though his body is separated as you see here, was still alive. And we passed a 8+ on 2d6 check to basically fight our best urges and just to reach into his chest and put him out of his misery. So Roland is dead and Iban is dead. Drina, Cat, and Embla to go. Hopefully we find them alive. No, we found Iban alive. Hopefully we find them more healthy than Iban was. Iban was clearly also dissected for knowledge purposes. The people who, whatever made this, doesn't know what humans are and took Iban apart to find out. The strange members, yes, these are the doors we found before. So there are doors here. Movement catches your eye ahead. Something small and pale, crouching like a frightened animal. Your heart sinks as you see who it is. Cat. She throws herself at you and clings to you like a shivering child. They took him. They did. They made him. Who are they? What's happening here? The little men. They live in the walls. I saw them take us. Stripped us down like beasts going to the butcher's cleaver. They don't sleep like he does. They stay awake so that he can sleep. Who do you mean? The king. The navigator. Holy shit, really? Is it really like a xenomorph engineer? Like the engineer people who become navigator? Because the look of the place here is very H.R. Geiger. He slept for so long, but they say it's time for him to wake up now. They say they're glad we came here. We did good, but I don't believe them. We should never have come. Gods walk these halls. We need to get out of here. Cat's expression vacillates between a smile and sheer terror. The little men say we can't leave. The king must awaken before the crawling doom finds its way inside. She tilts her head slightly to one side as if hearing something. And they say it's time for me to go now. I'm next. She takes a step backwards. Cat? She holds her gaze, her smile almost apologetic as she backs up against the wall. The strange biomechanical material convulses and a fissure opens up. Half a dozen grotesque small hands reach out and wrap around Cat. Before you have the time to react, she's pulled in and the fissure seals shut with a disgusting smack. You're left dumbfounded and alone. A simulacra of a humanoid form stands before you. Is this a machine imitating life, or some living thing imitating a machine? A strange viscous fluid fills its cupped hands, as if it's offering it to you. I'm not taking it. There's no happy ending to this, is there? There's absolutely no happy ending to this. This is the other side of the door, I'm assuming. Yeah, that was the door we had there. Okay, so what's on here then? Smooth, empty basins line the console. Narrow grooves seem to connect them, and you get a feeling that they're part of some kind of machine. Whatever this is, it appears dormant at the moment, and has likely been so for a long time. The aperture on the wall is strangely mesmerizing, though at the present you have a feeling it's somehow inactive. You look over at the empty basins flanking it. Perhaps they are involved somehow. Okay, need to activate that somehow. Let me move my mouse out of the way. We picked up vessel. Oh, we're going to fill the vessel with fluid back there and use them to fill the basins. Fill the vessel. The vessel slots into the machine creature and fills liquid. You take it back. Perhaps they can be of some use. You can't make camp in this area, shockingly. Strange vessel containing liquid. Interestingly, if I was a mage, I'd be able to cast spells here, because I haven't got attunement. Interesting. Anyway. Fill the basins. Carefully, you empty the fluid from the vessels into the basins. Seeming to move of its own volition, the fluid spreads from basin to basin, through the inset grooves, and slowly the entire room hums to life. It appears you've conjured something back into life. The interior of the aperture appears like a churning vortex of some black, oily substance. Within it, motes of light appear, looking almost like miniature stars that are born and die within the span of moments. Images form, strange geometric shapes that combine and recombine in strange infinite fractals. Looking around for a way to operate the strange machine, your hand passes over the liquid-filled basins. A strangely musical note can be heard. Soft at first, and then much stronger as your fingers lightly graze the surface of the liquid. Dipping your fingers into the liquid at different points produces unique tones, almost like playing an instrument, and as you do so, the images on the aperture shift. You find yourself mesmerized. The auditory and visual patterns seem utterly incomprehensible, and yet, there is something there, something stirring in the back of your mind. The longer you play it, the more the strange sounds and images resonate with you. You begin seeing them for what they are, terms in some great cosmic equation, a language of pure logic. No longer are the motes mere sounds, with each note a number resonates. As if sensing your dawning understanding, the great machine offers you a prompt. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. This is the Fibonacci sequence. 0 plus 1 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. The machine prompts you to enter the next number. 5 plus 3 equals 8. The final number, 8 plus 5 is 13. A sonorous, polyphonic wave of equations issues forth from the aperture. Like a veil being lifted, you find that you understand the machine's language on an instinctual level. The machine serves at your command. What is going on here? The image is one of deep, timeless sleep, millennia passing in silence, then a sound, something banging in the outer skin. Children, they have descended from the trees and multiplied. In their greed for knowledge and power, they now come to disturb us. But something else has crept in. They have torn the veil. It is here now, it claws at our skin. We are holding for now, but we grow weak. The navigator must awaken. Jesus, this is not even the same thing. The dragon and the navigator are separate things. There's aliens, but there's also corruption from outside. Issue another query. Unlock the doors. The machine abides. The inner doors have been unlocked. We shall leave. So there's aliens. This might well be a xenomorph. I want to say engineer. Is it engineer the species? I forget what they are from the aliens movies. Drina. Oh god, Drina. Drina's whispered prayers echo softly throughout the strange hallway. Over and over she recites the same lines as she rocks gently back and forth. Drina! I tried to talk to her, to make her see, but it's too late. I couldn't stop her. Who? Embla? She is so close now. Calls to her. I really did try to stop her. Drina. But I see now. But I have always come here. We always will. Go. She will need your help before the end. She lapses back into reciting her prayer. There's nothing more that can be done for her. Her eyes are Either are corrupted or just not there anymore. And then there was one. Like, for example, is Embla the agent of the dragon come to corrupt whatever this alien ship is? What's this? This is just a... We see a pool. Oh good, we're in the water now. That's going to be great fun, isn't it? Yeah, there's no good end to this. There is no happy ending here. You stand in the halls of Titans. No man was ever meant to see this. Why did you come here? It was her, wasn't it? Or was it? Did you ever really have a choice? Was there some unseen hand driving you towards this doom? Breathing fast and head reeling, your eyes fixed on something utterly out of place in its mundanity. A discarded shoe. Embla. Look behind myself. You sense her before you see her, a luminous phantom in the darkness. Naked and emaciated, there is nonetheless something in her bearing. Acceptance? An aura of maternal comfort? She strokes your cheek. Don't be afraid, daydreamer. We're with him now. What is happening? Come. Look upon him. She takes you by the hand and leads you to the base of the massive throne. Stars flash before your eyes as you force yourself to look at the statue seated on it. Is it something, or is it something more? A sleeping king? A god? Your heart begins racing. You cannot bear standing in its presence. Embla begins laughing as tears stream down from her face. A tremor violently shakes the structure and you feel, more than hear, an otherworldly scream coming from somewhere outside. Embla's eyes are wide. Time is running out. I must do what I was summoned here for, and you must help me. Help you do what? The king must awaken before the dragon reaches him. He slept for so long, and there is so little of his essence left. He needs fresh life. The glass sarcophagus opens as Embla approaches. To your amazement, you see that the inside is molded to perfectly fit a human form. The dire implications of the device are unmistakable. No, it can't end like this. I'm supposed to take you to your father. Don't you understand? She smiles sadly. I'm already with my father. She softly strokes her cheek. I've always come here, and you've always brought me. Time and time again we've stood here, in this place, and every time you do the right thing. That is the entirety of my universe now. Him in front, you behind, Giggity. But you'll die. All things die. But I'll be with him. I wonder if I will look out from him behind his eyes. Slowly and painfully, Embla hoists herself onto the rim of the sarcophagus. With much effort, she swings her legs up and lies down in this device. Her body seems to have aged years just since you entered the chamber, but now a look of utter relief washes over her face. The machine emits an oddly beautiful note. A ritual has begun, and it is time for you to take your part. We interact with the machine. A torrent of resonant waveform logic floods into you, and the machine now awaits your command. Commence the ritual. A huge tremor once again shakes the craft. The howl that sounds this time is much more forceful. Something is about to breach the craft's outer hull. Embla's half-open eyes remain fixed on you as you feed the machine the harmony that sets the ritual in motion. The faintest trace of a smile plays across her lips. Snaking tendrils emerge from holes in the machine, seeking out the body encased within. She jolts as they plunge into her flesh. For a moment, she is quiet, and then she breaks out into violent spasms. The machine begins to whir, and the tendril plugs pulsate obscenely with peristaltic motion. It has begun. Let the ritual proceed. The room shakes violently, light streaming from the anti-womb into the sleeping king as Embla is utterly unmade. He who sat undying for eons stirs. He rises. You are but an insect at the feet of gods. All is darkness. 2997 was a year of little note for the Empire. Peace and stability reigned, with one exception. The Outer Isles were lost. The event is extensively undocumented. The catastrophe was wholly natural, albeit tragic. The volcano Kataban awoke after millennia of dormancy. The lies. It is written that the plume of smoke could be seen from the mainland. But there were other rumors as well. Sailors claim that they saw a new star in the sky the night of Caravan's eruption. Such rumors are naught but lies. Let it be known that after much toil and hardship, Nemo joins the illustrious ranks of the most holy order of the persevering blade. To be one of us is to have spat in the face of death and despair. It is now to be one who forges ahead where lesser souls stand trembling. It is to be one... Hang on. To be one of us is to have spat in the face of death and despair. It is to be one who forges ahead where lesser souls stand trembling. Now, onward to glory. You've completed the game as level 22 officer in 63 days. Report thine feat on Twitter to @SkaldRPG. AL. I think that's it, folks. I think that's literally it. I don't think I can do anything else here. Like the games of old. Literally, the game actually has actually we're no longer in full screen. The game has become a smaller window now. Thankfully, I think OBS has coped with that beautifully. But the game is no longer full screen. It is a smaller window. I can drag around and move around. But I think that's it. Hang on, I'm gonna close the game and reboot it. That was an abrupt end. I mean, I think we had a fairly good idea about halfway from the very beginning. The second the first things went wrong. This is the AL, Anders Lorison. From the very moment things went wrong at the very beginning, like this game is not going to have a happy ending. We'll continue the game, see what happens. Yeah, we're back here again. Yeah. So that is Skald. Let's go back to the main menu then. Go back to here. That was an abrupt ending. I mean, we know for a fact it wasn't going to be a good ending. So it seems that there were two entities fighting here. Like we were cut in the middle. We were stuck in the middle of, on the one hand, the dragon, which was the forces of chaos, the mutations, the abominations, the chaos, the eldritch stuff, and this, and the king, the sleeping one. I don't know who they are. Not the king in yellow. We met the king in yellow before. Who seems to be part of the whole horror aspect of this, the dragon bit. And there's a star child and a bunch of stuff like that. So that was all linked to that bit. But also, from the other perspective, there was this ancient alien craft who came to this planet when humanity was monkeys and trees, and the one guy inside, the big guy inside, fell asleep, and we're just stuck in the middle. We needed to wake up the king. Embla needed to wake up the king. We knew from the flashbacks when we were from us as a kid talking to Embla that Embla was already special. I mean, I was, again, until the very end, I thought, okay, maybe Embla is going to be like the true final bossy thing, you know? Question mark. That maybe like, the second we went inside, like, okay, maybe we realized that the horror worm was trying to get inside. The horror worm was the avatar of the dragon's herald, was trying to get inside here to corrupt the sleeping king, whoever that was. And we went, and Embla was there, was being called for him, because Embla also, we were fairly certain early on that Embla was not the biological daughter of the guy or her dad, of the person who sent us to find her, I think. And she's always felt like she was being called elsewhere, etc., etc. So that was her purpose. It is unfortunate that everyone else died. I mean, it's not said what happened to us. Roland died fighting the horror worm. Ivan was mercilessly dissected by whatever background processes exist on board the craft, alien craft. Kat and Drina were basically driven insane. And Embla played her part, as I guess did we. As I guess did we. This has always happened, it always will happen, which implies a cyclical nature of this. I guess in the sense that whoever plays the game must go through this process. They must go through this process. Anyway, I very much enjoyed Skald. I mean, I did think the end was a little bit abrupt. It was a little bit abrupt. It does feel like they didn't quite know where to go with that. But yeah, it's there. It was done. It's over now. And it lasted the full week. A bit of a short episode today, and a bit of a short episode on Wednesday, but it lasted the full week. I gotta find something else to play now. Maybe I'll take a week's break. I usually take a week break between series just to I can find something proper to play for a bit. Maybe I'll do a couple of one-offs or something, a couple of newer tries. But yeah, folks, this has been Skald against the Black Priory. I enjoyed it. They have, unfortunately, I can't do this right now. If I actually, is there a way to die really quickly? Like, if I quit the game. There's no way to get back to a, there's no way to get back to a main menu. Because if I go quit, I'm gonna quit again. I'm gonna reboot the game up again, and I think if you go new game now, you can see that they added a new class in. Continue. Yeah. They had. You go. We'll pick. I think we played on normal, didn't we? By the end, we probably could have played on hard. We probably could have played on hard. Now class. So they added Bard as a class. Mixes the rogue's decent combat skills and high maneuverability with the use of arcane magic. Still using presence rather than intelligence, so intelligence still remains the intellect, or still remains the domain of that. And again, it doesn't seem like you have a choice of party members. The fact of, like, other than mercenaries, I mean, Yago is only a party member for the brief moment before he becomes captain of the Weather Maiden again. Who knows what happens to them? Maybe they leave. So Arms Master, Roland. Battle Magos, nobody. Champion, nobody. Guild Magos, Embla. Hierophant, nobody. Hospitaller, Drina. Officer, Yago. Ranger, Ivan, Keith, Cat. Go ahead, let's pick Bard real fast. Just see what Bard. They also added new backgrounds, didn't they? They added new backgrounds. We have Monastic, Healing and Lore, Nomad, Fire Resistance, Snake, Cultist, Poison Resistance, Street Rat, Initiative and Thievery, Thug, Club Management, Vagabond, Crafting and Survival, Wildling, Stealth and Survival. We're Courtier. Attributes, same as before, so just picking some random stuff here just to see what the last skills are before we end. The feats of a Bard. We have Bard Initiate, increases Diplomacy, Lore, and Spell Aptitude. Attunement, Diplomacy, Mass Cascade. Diplomacy, Presence, and Multi-Attack in Bard Master. Interesting. Bard Spellcasting. We have Sight to Behold. Adds Clarity of Mind to all people. So it adds Intellect, and plus, that's a huge... to everyone, doesn't even have to be in range. That's to everybody on the field. Gets +2 Intellect and +2 Presence at the end of the fight. Fire Sprite. Just does fire damage to somebody at tier 1. Lifting Tune gets inspired. Light Please adds illuminated to all allies in the battle. Everyone gets lit up. Sparkle Dust. All enemies in line get blinded. Heroic Tune. All allies get ruined. It's strictly better than Drina's one because this does not require an aura until the end of the battle gets. That's Bless, isn't it? That's Heroic Inspiration. Now You See Me makes you invisible. Raise the Curtain removes all invisible from enemies. Did we meet an invisible enemy? I don't remember meeting an invisible enemy. There clearly were not enough invisible enemies for me to pay attention to that. Shadow Step. Lesser haste, lesser invisibility. Whisper of Confusion. That's confused. Confused means it's just stunned. Smothering Blanket. Fearful, disrupted, mute on all enemies. Eye Shine. Lesser, blindless, fearful, illuminated all enemies. Fireworks. Anyone in cone gets deafened and takes some fire damage. And Lambent Dance. All enemies get intoxicated, which lasts until next rest, and does damage to all enemies of a not stupid amount of damage. Then we have Light Weapons Initiate, Rogue Blade Initiate, Rogue Blade Expert, yep. Then you have Tradecraft, which gives you Backstabber, so you get some backstabbing. Not as much backstab, you don't get to Backstab Master, but you still get a lot of backstab. Considering Backstab Master is just backstab, backstab, backstab. Mobility Initiate, which gives you Evasive, Fancy Footwork, and Dash, and then Survivor Initiate, which gives you a lot of the stuff over here. Interesting class. Anyway, I just don't think I would have picked it. I think Officer fits the best, given your class, like the kind of person you're supposed to be, right? It's really weird. It's at the moment like, it almost feels like the canonical choice, because you are meant to be the head of a mercenary group or something that goes specifically hired to do this. It feels weird for you to be something else, at least in my head. It's kind of like we're playing Rogue Trader on stream. If you haven't been watching, I stream on Twitch multiple times a week, and on Mondays and Fridays, lately we've been doing a co-op Rogue Trader with Beric, and it just feels like the main character needs to be an officer. And it makes little sense for a Rogue Trader to be anything other than an officer, because you're meant to be like someone who's at least hopefully used to giving orders. You're going to be the head of a Rogue Trader, of an entire Rogue Trader dynasty. It becomes really silly if you're like just like the low intelligence, grunt, low charisma stuff. Like no, you're meant to be a massive Rogue Trader. Anyway, folks, I'm just rambling now because I'm trying to run out of things to say. I will find something new. I hope you enjoyed Skald against Black Priory. I did. I did think that ending was a little bit abrupt, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I enjoyed the time we spent. It was 42 episodes. So divide that by 3 is 14 weeks, give or take. 10 would be 30 plus some of the 12 on top of that. So it's about 14 weeks worth of Skald. It's about a quarter of the year. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. I'll come up with something else. Probably take a week off from this slot with maybe some one-offs. But yes, I'll catch you all next time, folks. See you then. Bye-bye.